I'm going to walk you guys through the 2-day session that I had with my client for this piece. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, the tattoo itself turned out great, but the whole 2-day session, I was struggling so much. I can't.
In air doesn't work. It's hot as hell in
Trying
here.
to feel it.
I have 2 lights on me. I'm like, oh my god.
Let me break it down for you guys and tell you exactly what happened. So for starters, me and this client were emailing back and forth with each other, and he was giving me his ideas through there. I saw his vision. I was like, cool, let's do it. We booked him. Everything went well from there.
So today I am going to be working on this piece here. I gotta show my client here, make sure that he gets the approval, make sure it looks dope. But I mean, I think it's pretty cool. What do you guys think? You let me know. Tyler?
Yes.
Chris. Nice to meet you. Show you what I got here.
Already looks amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, not too much. Pretty simple, straight to the point.
That's what, yeah. I was looking at your reference photo and I was trying to make it as similar as possible, but
I like that. No, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
exactly. Yeah, that's fine.
Sweet.
When he came into the studio that day, I did not realize how tall he was. So I had to go back, make sure that the proportions were correct to fit his body, which wasn't a problem at all. As a tattoo artist, I'm going to make sure that my client is, 1, satisfied at all times, but 2, I'm giving them a tattoo that they're going to be happy and proud of for the rest of their lives.
His leg is a lot bigger than I thought it was gonna be, so, which I'm actually really kind of happy about, because that means I get to really make this design look cool. So I gotta make this a lot bigger, but it'll be cool because then I can really focus on like the details in the face. And I don't plan on doing too much of all of this over here because of the outside calf. I don't want it to like wrap too much, so I'm gonna mainly focus on this side of the design on his leg. We're gonna do it in 2 days, do the whole portrait today, get all that, and then tomorrow we're gonna go back into the details of the piece and just finish it all up and see how it goes. Destin is also recording for his client right now.
Recordingception. I'm recording you, recording me. I'm recording.
And I'm recording this whole thing.
Once that was done and I was able to size everything up proportionately, it did take a while for that to happen because I had to go back a few times and make sure that it was correct. I did print out 2 stencils for him to see the smaller one and the bigger one, and ultimately we ended up going with the bigger one on purpose because he was taller. We wanted to make sure that it was proportionate to his leg.
All right, I'm gonna set up now and get started on that, and then we're gonna put the stencil on, make it look cool, let it dry, and then we're gonna get started. I'm using something a little bit different. I'm using this new stuff called Biotat. I've been using it for a couple tattoos now, and I really like it a lot. I'm still using my same setup for my gray wash here. I'm gonna be using the Ultra Black from Allegory, and then I'm gonna be doing medium gray wash from Empire, and then I'm actually gonna be using light gray wash from Empire, and then the extra light white wash from Empire. Typically, I would use my black medium gray wash, light white wash, and extra light white wash. But I'm gonna go back to my roots a little bit. A lot of that is just based on skin tone as well, which is why I kind of fluctuate between light gray wash and light white wash. But it's not too much of a difference, but I can see the difference. So that's why I'm gonna go back to just using the gray wash for this tattoo specifically. What I'm mainly focusing on today is going to be the face and probably the hands and the rosary, and then everything else will just kind of be for tomorrow. But I want to get as much detail as I can done today. I don't really work in a printer kind of way. I'm more so like jumping around. If I spend too much time on one area, starting from the bottom up, by the time I get to the top here, I will definitely be losing a lot of like my focus. So I kind of just like to jump around and make the image come to life, starting from what's most important and ending in what doesn't need to be as detailed. So I've realized that's like the best way for me to do that.
When I was putting on the stencil solution, it just went everywhere. It went everywhere. And I was like, cool, got it, awesome.
Yeah, I put way too much on.
Yeah.
I was not paying attention. I was too worried about Logan over there. But
Damn.
The next thing after that was placing the stencil again, making sure that it did not smudge everywhere, and it didn't. It went fine. Honestly, I can't complain. And the stencil came out crispy and clean, and it was readable, and I was able to work with it.
So always I print out my reference photo with my stencil on top, the red. And I'm gonna be using this. I don't like to rely on my iPad anymore. Makes me feel like that I'm spending too much time zooming in, zooming out when I can just look at this and kind of compare. So I'm gonna keep my reference photo right next to my tattoo as I'm doing it, so that way I can just easily look over at what I'm doing. This is gonna be a fun piece. I'm super excited. Again, this is gonna be a 2-day project, so we'll see how it goes and we'll kind of go from there. Are you excited?
Super excited.
Hell yeah.
I'm ready.
All right, cool.
Pieces like this aren't just about the design. They're about patience, structure, and understanding how to build something that's going to last in the skin over time. Going into day 1, my focus was very intentional. I always start with the focal points, the areas that matter most visually and technically. So for this session, that meant the portrait first, followed by the hands, and then working into parts of the rosary and the sleeves. When you're working on a multi-day tattoo, you have to think ahead, not just about how it looks today, but how it's going to heal, settle, and read from a distance. That's why I don't try to rush everything into the first session. Anything that isn't essential, I leave for the second day. It helps me manage my client's pain, and it allows me to give me the most attention to the areas that actually carry the piece. For this tattoo, I use a 9-round liner with a 19 curve mag buck pin, starting everything with Allegory Ultra Black. I always begin with my blacks. That's a big part of how I keep consistency in my work. By establishing my darkest values first, I can build everything else around the foundation without overusing my midtones too early. A lot of artists go straight into midtones, and that's where things can get muddy. For me, it's all about control.
About an hour now. Just under an hour. We have about like half of the face done. Starting to work our way into the focal points of the tattoo. I started in this little section right here to get this black in there. I used my 19 curve mag buck pen, just using just straight black. And then I worked my way over into this section over here. Again, this is mainly all black, but I did bring out some of the mid-tones, like the medium mixed with a little bit of that light. And then once I kind of got my structure of where the face is curving and like the way that the neck, the light source is hitting the neck, well, the face, and then casting shadow onto the neck, I still want to go a little bit darker, but I did grab some of my extra light and just kind of like went over in that lighter area. So skin tone is definitely lighter than this part, but I don't want to make this too dark and this too dark. But I do want to actually make this a little bit darker than in here. So now I'm just taking my liner. I just went in to go get the eyelashes done, the eyebrow, sharpen up the nose, get the mouth starting to work in there. And just kind of building off of that, just kind of making this face come more to life. So just using my 9-round liner for now. I was going to use my 5-round liner, but I think just because of the scale, I decided to just switch over to the 9 and just use that. So far, so good. His skin is very easy to work with, so that's always a plus. And it's always super important to stay hydrated. I'm not gonna like outline too much, but I did outline on the outside of the face here just because I will be putting black coming off of the veil there, so but it's not something I would typically do when I'm doing a portrait because there is the veil. That's why I'm going to use an outline. So far so good. We're making good progress just with an hour in, so hell yeah.
When I'm working on a portrait, I'm not focusing on detail right away. I think in terms of blocking. I'm laying in shapes, structures, and value relationships first, because if your foundation isn't solid, no amount of detail is going to fix it later. As I build layer by layer, the portrait starts to come together naturally, and I'm able to keep everything cohesive without forcing it. My voltage changes depending on what I'm doing. When I'm packing black, I stay low, around 5 volts. That keeps things smooth and controlled without tearing up the skin. For my midtones, I bring it back up to around 6.5 volts, and for lighter tones, I'll go anywhere from 7 to 7.5. But that's never fixed. It always depends on the area of the body, the skin, and how everything is reacting in real time. One of the biggest things for me is working in layers. I don't try to force everything in one pass. Layering allows the skin to breathe during the session. It prevents overworking and gives me the flexibility to come back in and refine things exactly where they need to be. If I need to revisit the area, I'll use something like Bactine to help manage the pain for my client and get those final passes in clean. But at the end of day 1, we had a strong foundation. The portrait was set, the hands were reading clearly, and the structure of the piece was exactly where I wanted it.
We got a good amount of the face
pretty much done. I'm just kind of waiting for the skin to just kind of settle down right now. And then I'm gonna go back into like the hair, the eyelashes, eyebrows, and then kind of really bring this softer kind of shade. A lot of people ask me what voltage I'm running my machines at, and it's anywhere from like right now I'm at 5.7 and I go all the way up to like a 7.5, so anywhere between that range. Usually when I'm doing like black, that's when I'm running my machine a lot lower, and then when I'm doing anywhere between light and extra light, that's when I'm running my machine more at like a 7.5. So that answers your question, hopefully. Once I kind of wait for this to settle down a little bit, I'm going to put some of that ointment back on it just to kind of help it calm down. And once that kind of calms down to my liking, then I'm going to go back into that. But for now, I'm going to work in this section and then come back, spray some Bactine, so that way it's not so painful. Start working on these hands, and then that will be our session for today. Tomorrow, we'll come back in and finish everything else. So far, so good. Like I said, his skin is doing great, so I'm excited. Oh yeah, that's my update.
Before I wrapped him up, I wiped him down, made sure everything was fine, so then I could send him home, bring him back the next day, and not have to re-stencil. This is always the biggest worry for me, is because I try to just stencil things in the first day, and then the next day I hope and pray that the stencil stays on. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
So this is just a ointment that I'm gonna put on just to kind of keep it moisturized for now until tomorrow morning, and then we're gonna put this wrap on it to kind of again keep it moisturized, and that way it doesn't start to get all scabby or anything. So made some good progress. I got exactly what I wanted done. I actually got more than what I wanted done because I did all of this in here, and I really didn't think that I was going to get to that today, but that will leave everything else tomorrow. So making good progress. All we gotta do is the veil and the background. Tomorrow, we're gonna finish it, wrap it all up. This could be done. How do you feel?
I feel amazing.
Cool.
I feel good. I feel like we did get a lot done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Cool. Okay, so we're back. It's day 2. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm wearing my Poly D shirt because we were talking about it. Anyways, so he just took the wrap off from last night. It looks really good. It does look a little dry, but that's okay. This actually looks really good in here. Stencil is still very much on there. That's great. Nothing fell out. So today I'm gonna start working on the background and here, the veil, get everything else done. And if there's anything detail wise that I want to go back into, which I thought last night maybe I wanted to kind of go back into this, but I'm gonna just kind of see how it goes with the rest of everything and just see how it does. So how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, slept like a baby. Everything was good. So yeah, we're good. We're good to go.
You ready to roll?
Yes.
Let's do it. Okay, so we'll get started here soon, and then I'll keep you guys updated.
Day 2 is always a different experience. For me, it feels smoother, but for the client, it usually gets tougher. They're coming back sore, they're sitting in the same position again, and mentally, it can be a lot. But my client handled it really well. His skin wasn't overly irritated, which made a huge difference in how efficiently I could work. On the second day, we focused on everything that supports the focal point, finishing the veil, completing the rosary, and building the background with the sun rays. And even though it may look like the easier part of the tattoo, this is where things can go wrong if you're not careful. Black and gray is all about control, especially when it comes to lighter tones. If your light values aren't consistent, the tattoo can end up looking patchy or uneven. So I'm constantly paying attention to how those tones are sitting, making sure everything transitions smoothly. As we moved higher up into the calf area towards the knee, the sensitivity definitely increased. That area could be brutal, so I had to adjust how I was working, keeping my layers tighter, minimizing the number of passes, and still maintaining consistency in the tones. At that point, it becomes a balance between efficiency and precision. You still want it to look perfect, but you always have to respect what the client is going through physically. One of the biggest pieces of advice I can give when it comes to black and gray work is this: you have to understand your values separate from your reference. A reference is just a guide. It's not something you follow blindly. Sometimes you need to create separation than what you see. Sometimes you need to simplify. Sometimes you need to push contrast further so the tattoo actually reads well in the skin. If you rely too heavy on your reference, you can end up with something that looks flat or overworked. Understanding value is what gives you control. Once everything is finished, all the layers, all the adjustments, everything sitting is where it needed to be, we moved into the final stage, the white highlights. That's what brings everything forward. It adds the last level of contrast, that final bit of life to the piece. After that, I wrapped him up and we were done. 2 days of work, a solid foundation, and a piece that was built to heal properly and hold over time. That's always the goal, not just make something that looks good today, but something that's going to look just as strong years from now.
Honestly, for a day ago started,
seeing how his skin is just so soft right now. Like everything is just so, there's no irritation at all. And like I couldn't have asked for a better outcome. So I'm really excited. This is just so soft. Everything looks great. We're at that painful spot right now, but we chilling. We're getting through it. Using some Bactine and just trying to make it work. Just got the crown sunray thing left, and that will be the end of our 2-day session. Your second tattoo, right?
Yes, my second.
Second. Go big or go home.
Yeah.
But vibes are good. Vibes are good.
When I go into the white highlights at the end of the session, I like to spray my client down with Bactine. I don't really like to use any kind of numbing cream because it does irritate the skin and it makes it a little bit harder to work with. I will if I absolutely have to, but again, it's not really up to me. It's up to if my client can take it or not. So at this point, I'm using the Bactine. I just sprayed the Bactine down and make sure that he's a little bit more comfortable with the white highlights. Once I get the white highlights in there and it is done, I could tell he was so happy. He was like, thank God, let's go. I'm done. We don't have to worry about this pain anymore. It was amazing.
Yep, I think we're done.
Think we're done?
I think we're done.
All right.
How do you
God is
feel?
good.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Virgin Mary. Listen to this.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I'm toast right now.
Alright guys, that was the end of that 2-day session. Honestly, he sat so well. Like, I'm really surprised with how people, their capabilities. It's crazy. I hate getting tattooed, so it's just cool to see how you guys just like push through that. It was a really good session the first day after he came back. The stencil stayed on really well and the tattoo looked really good. It looked very hydrated. He hydrated very well. That's why it's really important to stay hydrated before your session, during the session, eat, all that stuff. His skin looked really good, so I am expecting it to heal pretty nicely. Guys, I am booking for the rest of this year out into the summer right now, so if you guys want to get booked in with me, the best way to do that is you can contact me. Here's my email right here. Also, you can go to my Instagram page and find my booking link on there, and those are the best ways to contact me. But I'm taking on more projects like this, so if you guys want anything like that, whether it be big, small, realism, black and gray, color, I have a bunch of videos that you guys can go check out. Thank you guys for all the support and watching these videos. I appreciate it. I'll see y'all later.
And then there's this guy. You want to say bye? Say bye. Say bye.